I find that we live in a world where we put a lot of value on individual efforts, like we should put a lot more emphasis on go out there, try to find people with whom you like to work, connect with those people, and create a brain that's going to be, more powerful than your own, and I believe in that because I've seen that happening, in the Felix and Paul kind of creative dynamics. But you see that when you create a studio as well. You start to bring people on board, and when it's the right people working with you, it just creates that far larger brain than any brain you could dream of aspiring by waking up at 5 in the morning during your jogging and whatever. It's something that I find is, undervalued in today's world somehow, and it should be valued because from our experience at least, that's how we did what we did.
I'm Paul Raphael, co-founder and head of innovation at Felix and Paul Studios.
And I'm Felix Lajeunesse. I'm the co-founder and chief creative officer at Felix and Paul Studios. Right now we are at the Infinite in Montreal.
So this show really is the culmination of everything we've been doing over the last 10 years. Of course, getting this incredible footage that we've been filming in space. This is also our first location-based exhibit, so this is a way for us to really reach the audience directly, something that over the past 10 years has been our goal. This is why we've always dreamed of doing VR, why we wanted to film in space. It was to give everyone, the millions of people on Earth, the ability to experience what has only been experienced by very few people.
Well, for us, virtual reality is about one thing, really, and it's presence. And it is the reason why we care about this medium. It is the reason why year after year, and now after a decade, we keep exploring that medium with the feeling that we're still only really kind of scratching the surface. The state of presence is something that is a profound aspect of real life, and that consciousness is our interface with the outside world. But somehow when you fall in a mode of spectatorship, watching a film or looking at artwork, that state of presence is largely gone. It's a state that you aspire to get to, this state of almost, I would say, fusion between the person and the artwork. Virtual reality is just about presence, and I would say that it's more about presence than it is about storytelling. As a virtual reality storyteller, filmmaker, creator, you need to craft that sense of presence. You need to create the conditions in the piece for audiences to feel present in a very deep way. And I would say that that's the core of what we do as VR creators. For every single project that we've done over the past 10 years, that has always been the sort of like Shakespearean core question of the work is, how are we going to articulate, grow, nurture the sense of presence?
Absolutely beautiful.
The White House is the people's house, and Michelle and I always joke, we're just renters here.
With years, you really become part of the same brain based on this communal field of exploration where we spent so much time going through the hurdles of productions, from beginning to end, and going through the phases of doubts and the phases of fear, and then, rallying courage.
It really gives you the license to take risks, in a pretty big way.
In the last 10 years, we went through many instances where we thought, this is it. This either works or this studio no longer exists.
The minute we had captured our first images in virtual reality at the very beginning, we were convinced we had to find a way to send a camera out to space. The transformative potential of such an experience was quite obvious. This would be probably one of the most powerful things we could ever do. Now it's been 7 years that we've been developing this series, that started on Earth, went off into the International Space Station. We're very much still involved as we start telling the story of the moon missions.
So the next big space exploration program from NASA is the Artemis program. So the vision for the Artemis program is to bring humanity back to the moon for the first time since 1972, since the end of the Apollo program. The vision is to turn the moon into the base camp to go out and explore Mars and go further into deep space. Capturing that, we feel, is a way to set the foundations for decades of storytelling. And that's why we're so excited about it.